Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how to export your DXF or DWG file for the 3D puzzle. So here I have my 3D puzzle document open. I have my period number, my first name, last initial, the project we're working on, 3D puzzle. Right? I already have a ton of stuff already finished. I'm making this elephant that I altered slightly than before, but that's okay. So I have my body here. In one part studio. My legs are in a different part studio, so this is going to end up being 3 total parts. One is going to be the body, and then I'm going to use this set of legs. I'm going to be doing it twice. So as you can see, I already have one assembly done for test fit, meaning I have my material, an 8x8 square, it's an 1/8 inch thick, and I put my body and my 2 legs over top of it to make sure the size fits for our size constraint. And then I already have my assembly of the elephant fully done to make sure it works. And you can pretend that I've already done my orthographics for both the body and the legs. Again, I'm just doing this quick and dirty so you can kind of just get the idea of what we're doing. But when you're ready to actually export your design, we're going to do it in a different way. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit an insert, right? We're going to add a new, and we're going to add a new drawing. So we're going to create a new drawing, except we're going to be doing it differently than what you're used to. So we're actually going to use no views, and we're going to use ANSI C inch, right? We've been kind of just doing the ANSI A. We're going to be doing ANSI C, which is just the size of the sheet of paper. So we're going to use a larger sheet, and I'll explain why in a minute. So ANSI C inch, no views, okay. And when it creates it, it's going to open it up in a larger sheet, right? So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this drawing, and I'm going to call it, in this case, I'm making an elephant, export. Okay, that way it helps me remember. All right, so the very first thing that we have to do is we have to insert, or we have to select what we want to have in our drawing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this insert view button. From there, we're going to hit insert, and pretty much it should be selected, but if it's not, make sure it says current document, and then you should see all of the part studios for your document, right? So I have the material, which would be the 8x8 square, I have my part studio for the body, and the part studio for the legs. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit this drop down arrow next to material. Sometimes it might already be open. If it's not, just hit the drop down, click on that part, and it's going to have it like a regular drawing. However, we're going to change some stuff. So where it says view orientation, now I recommend when you're doing this, you're working on the top plane. Okay, so always work on the top plane. It's going to make your life easier. So I'm going to select whatever plane I was working on, in this case top, right? And then our scale, you have to make sure it's 1:1 scale. Okay, because when I export it, it's going to export this drawing, and that's what the laser cutter is going to cut for us. So I'm going to make sure it's top, 1:1, and make sure it's my material. I'm going to place that in the middle, and I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard. So now this is the size of our material that we have to use. So when we add the parts, we're going to make sure they fit inside this square. I know we've already done that with our test fit, right, to make sure everything fits. But this is also another good way to set it up, just another fail-safe. So again, we're going to go back to where it was insert. Right now it says projected view. If you hit this drop down and hit insert view, then instead of material, which is part 1, we go to insert, and our menu pops up. So then we go to body, select body, and again, I work top down. So it says view orientation. I want the top. And I want my scale 1:1. And then I'm going to put my view, or my part, anywhere inside. But we want to try to maximize our material. So I'm going to put it in the top left-hand corner. And I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard. So now I have my elephant there inside my material. Now, again, I'm going to hit, instead of going to projected view, I'm going to hit the drop-down, insert view. Again, I can't select because it's already the ones we've already used. I'm going to go to insert, part studio legs, click on it. I'm again going to be the top view, and I want to do the 1:1 scale. It's super important. So I'm going to stick the other one here. Again, I'll hit escape on my keyboard, hit the drop down, insert view, and I'm going to do the same thing. So now I can go here because we've already used that part, select the legs part 1, but if we couldn't, we would just go back to insert. Again, top orientation, 1:1 scale, put it here, and then now escape. So here are my 3 parts, and they all fit inside our material square, which is exactly what we want. Now when I'm ready to export, after I make sure everything fits, you don't have to, on this one, you don't have to dimension anything. You can show me if you're confused, but this is semi what it should look like. I'm going to right click on the drawing where it says whatever, export. Right click, export. Your file name. Name it your first name, your last initial, whatever project you are working on. So in this case, 3D Puzzle, and 1. Make sure it's DWG. Version is 2000. Sheets is current sheet. Hide underlines. Text is export as text. Options is download. And then just make sure it says set Z height to 0 and normals to positive. These all should be defaults, but just in case, then hit export. And this might pop up just again because it's our Wi-Fi here at school, sometimes a little bit slower. And now it's going to be exported to my downloads, and that is what I'm going to upload to the Google Classroom. All right? Hope that helps. See you in the next video.